When I think of the word expedition, I think of, going off out into the wild. It's somewhat of an organized plan, but, not knowing what's coming next. Kind of just doing work with a little bit of mixture of unpredictability.
It really encapsulates adventure and also having a mission for your trip. You have to have a reason for why you're going, and you have to be able to go there and not just do ecotourism, but to actually accomplish something.
Kind of means more like a journey rather than a location. Working with a team to do a specific goal.
Just really taking risks and going out and finding and learning about really new things.
Being out in the field, being involved, going on an adventure, rather just being in the lab or learning about something.
You're in the wilderness, you're camping, you're making do with what you got and experiencing everything as it is.
Going out into the wilderness and doing something outside of civilization.
I think the most challenging part was the camping. We didn't really have a lot of running water, and there was a lot of new experiences for me that I haven't experienced before. Um, Being outside in the heat, it was the most raw camping I've ever done, but it was fun. So. Coming to DR was, the trip is called Expedition Dominican Republic. And I think that's really what it was. I took the risk of coming out here, even though it was something new to me, and I got to learn a lot of new things about the environment, the ecosystems, and
Is just different from like a lab setting or like an indoor setting, going out and actually doing stuff in the field. It's a good mixture of fun and a good mixture of actually getting down and dirty and doing stuff. We got like planned out, getting some samples and working in the field. A sense of unpredictability mixed with a pretty solid plan.
My favorite part of the trip is definitely being able to work with the slider turtles. That was what I was looking forward to the most in the beginning because that's a species that I haven't really worked with ever before, and especially because we're on an island, endemic species, and it's something that I'm very passionate about. I love working with animals and learning how to sample, like getting out in the field, having that hands-on learning, and also really like being able to work with the group. Because in the beginning, we were all starting from scratch, all learning like new methods, and then by the end of the expedition, our sampling methods were super effective. We worked together really well as a group, and were able to go through it really fast with people having their different tasks and being really efficient.
With biology and expedition biology, I feel like having that goal with the turtle sampling really gave it a different feel than any other experience I've had.
I was struggling to hold them back.
Sorry, right, you're the one with the big knife.
I think that going into this trip, I wasn't a very big nature person, and I was nervous about camping. And I really came out of my comfort zone in the first couple of days. I felt uneasy, and now on the last 3 days of the trip, I am looking back, and I'm really gonna miss the experience that I got to have. I really bonded with a lot of the people in the group, and overcoming something that was outside of my comfort zone really made us all come closer together.
Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah, mucho, huh? Is that your phone?
Oh, pequeño. Oh, muy pequeño. Baby. Bebe.
All my kids like sleeping tonight. That's great. Sleeping is like. The thing is, you're not supposed to like make sure everything's quiet all the time.
I feel like the most challenging aspect of the trip was at school, you're really used to having a routine, having a schedule, and knowing what's coming next. And here, there's a lot of like uncertainties, unknown. There's different factors at play that maybe will cause a delay in plans, a change in plans. And I'm somebody who's normally pretty structured. Like my days, I barely have any free time. It's been planned for a while. And here, you just kind of have to, like, depending on the weather or depending on what the groups that we're working with are saying, there's a lot of waiting around, kind of trying to figure out what's going on. And I think that that was something that I struggled with in the beginning because we're just so used to like the go, go, go every day. And here you just kind of have to take a while, be patient, and then it opened a lot of opportunities to be able to actually get to know people and form those connections versus just being on the go all of the time. So it ended up being a positive for sure.
Oh, should be wearing clothes soon this, but. And we're off. So it's gonna heat the lid. It's about, this one's gonna be at 68 degrees. And it's gonna hold it there for 6 minutes, and then it's gonna kill all the enzymes in there with a 98 degree. So what it's doing is just ramping right now.
Al mundo me trajiste, entre llantos y esperanzas, tenías una corazonada. No estás sola. Callos en las manos, peleas entre hermanos.
My favorite part of the expedition biology was one of the more chaotic days. I believe it was the day that we went to go get the turtle traps in the rain when it was pouring down in the jungle. I just liked that it was kind of like a hands-on actual. I felt like I was in a field doing actual field work experience rather than picturing it like coming out here getting pampered. And it's not like we did any of that, but it's just some things come to mind. And it was just I felt like it was a cool experience that we could actually go out there and face like kind of harsh conditions while doing stuff that actually propelled us forward in the whole expedition, the whole field study aspect of the trip. It was a little chaotic because I did kind of get banged up a little bit out there, but it's all part of the experiences. That's what I would say.
Abuelos flamencos, me salí fuera del tiesto. Tengo mucho arte, no tienes más que callarte. Dime lo que quieras, soy un muro. Mi pana, a ver si me das cuenta. Mi padre vino de Dominicana, con buena fe y ganas. Mi madre sana y salva, ritmo en las venas.
Traveling around different places, you're actually immersed in that area, learning, experiencing, working with different groups.
Ritmo en las venas del vino de Dominicana, con buena fe y ganas. Mi madre sana y salva, ritmo en las venas. Con el miedo no me salen ganas.
My favorite part of the trip for sure was being able to work with the locals. I think that me knowing Spanish, it was a little bit easier, but being able to work with the locals and get to know the people while working with the species and animals that they have around, talking with the locals, a lot of them knew about them, but they don't really know maybe how important they are. It's kind of like a general in the ecosystem. So being able to interact with these local fishermen and people in the area and have them help us out was definitely like the highlight of the trip. Intercultural exchange, I could say.
Part of the scenery we got to see. We visited a bunch of different places in the Dominican Republic, San Rafael. Some of the views were actually insane. Being from Florida, you don't see a lot of mountains, so it's definitely something very different.
Semester based on how many credits you take.
A way cooler way to do it.
My favorite part was when we went on the boat ride in Lake Oviedo, when we saw the flamingos. That was pretty cool. And also when we went to the islands, we saw the cave etchings, and that was really cool. Opportunity to interact with the endangered rhino iguanas, and that was definitely a highlight of the trip.
My favorite part of this trip has been last night going out on a night hike and doing a stakeout. It was a new experience, and I felt like I really got to bond with my group, and watching my professors be really invested in the biology research was really inspiring to me as a student. And it's definitely something I'm going to remember for the rest of my life.
Hotel number 15.
Hey, you can't forget the TJ Maxx.
Oh, these crabs are really easy to catch. What are you doing? That's so good.
I think I was afraid to come here at first. You know, you hear a lot of things about the safety, then you also hear really good things, but I know that kind of only speaks about the resorts. So I'm really glad that I got to experience everything from meeting the locals, trying local foods. The food here was really good. And then the locals that we were with, Grupo Jaragua, was so nice. And I got to practice my Spanish with them. And I also got to learn about the wildlife here that I didn't know much about before.
I really liked how passionate everyone was here about something, be it their cars that are really loud or their just the sense of community that they had. Everyone seemed like they were pretty happy with life here.
Seeing the areas that we're in and kind of like how far out it is from our daily life and how the people make do and they have such a simple and fulfilling life here. I really enjoy it. I think it's something that I can really, work with, and I like the culture on here. It's definitely improved my perspective on the country as a whole. I used to think it was a little more dangerous, maybe not that nice, but definitely I love the people here. I love the country in general.
I've been here twice before, but I haven't seen this side of the Dominican. So I wouldn't say my opinion has changed, but I think it's definitely been interesting to see their different culture and how they live life and like everything that they do. I think it's been very interesting.
They live very simply down here, and I really love it. It's very about the culture and community and being outside and hanging out with your friends. A lot different than what I'm used to because we're mainly inside in the U.S. So it's a lot more than I thought it would be. A lot more community, and I love that.
I think that I've always been very aware of like the different areas in the DR and how different they are, specifically like tourism versus the locals. But specifically on this trip, I've gotten to know the people that live here a lot more and created meaningful relationships, and that's been a very unique experience that I've gotten to have.
Before this trip, I was definitely more unfamiliar with the Dominican Republic. I have some friends from school who are from here, but I really hadn't ever heard a lot. I know that there's a lot, like Punta Cana is a big spring break destination, so I knew that. I knew people would talk about the water here and issues of that, but I don't know, I was pretty unfamiliar with the way of life here, the different species, and so it was really like I didn't come in with any like preconceived notions or thinking of anything, and I just ended up learning a lot.
Just that I think it's a really great experience that involves a lot of growth, especially as a person. Socially as well, you know, you have to work with a team and learn how to talk to people and really get to know them. And, you know, it was just a really great time. So.
I would say thank you to the group of Hawaii that we've worked with. It's been very awesome to work with them, and we've learned a lot so far. I've learned a lot personally being a business major, so I've really enjoyed this trip.
So definitely Grupo Jaragua. That's like the whole reason we're here. They did a great job helping us out because we would definitely get lost in the forest without them. Especially a lot of our tour guides like Pablo. He really improved on his English, so I love that for him. And he was very kind and helped us out when we needed it, and I really enjoyed their help. We would not have been able to do it without them.
I think it's definitely something everybody should do once. If it's not a full on-site expedition, just traveling to a different country and experiencing a new culture, getting to know different people from different areas of the world, seeing new animals, seeing new spots. I think travel is one of the most important things you can have in your life to grow as a person.